It's Elizabeth J with an S, and
it's Hanging Out with Helen.
And today we are going to be doing the third baking challenge from Annette D and ECO. And in this baking challenge, we are going to be making... It's a bagel.
It's a bagel.
Bagel.
Bagels!
Yes, bagels.
We boil them and then bake.
So our bagel recipe calls for flour, sugar, potato water, and to get the potato water, just boil a potato and collect the water. Cake yeast, which we don't have, we're going to use dry yeast, but I'll tell you what the conversions are. Eggs and oil. And then to decorate our bagels, we have some sesame seeds here. So we're gonna get started and hope you can follow along with this bagel recipe. So the first thing that we're going to do is measure 3 cups of flour and sift it into the bowl. And we are going to use our makeshift sifter, as we have already illustrated in a previous video. We use this fine mesh strainer and sift the items through it.
And we use, you can use your hand, but I just prefer to use the whisk. See, voila!
Okay, so we're also going to sift 2 tablespoons out of the 4 tablespoons of sugar that are required, and I think it's 1 teaspoon of salt, but you can check the recipe to verify.
Yes, it's 1 teaspoon of salt.
And that also gets sifted in.
Why is it taking long?
Because the sugar is big.
Okay guys, patience, and you can use your hand so that you have control of the sugar to, like, all of it to pass through. So you just use your hand.
Okay, so the next step is to take the yeast and dissolve it into 1/3 of a cup of the potato water, which has been warmed. So here we've measured dry yeast. Now 1 pack of the cake yeast is 2 ounces, and according to the conversion chart, 2 ounces of cake yeast is equal to 21 grams of dry yeast. So we measured 21 grams.
This is too cold.
Okay, our potato water is too cold, so we're going to heat that up, and then
Because it has to be,
but not boiling. We don't want to.
it has to be the right temperature in order to activate the yeast, but not to kill the yeast. So it has to be like water for bathing a child. That's how you know it's right for the yeast. Yes.
Okay, so 1/3 of a cup.
Just mixing so that it's, so that's 1/3. We are going not to use that. So,
And then it says to mix it with the flour mixture. Dissolve the yeast in 1/3 cup of warm potato water and add yeast to the flour mixture. Then add the oil, which is 3 tablespoons of oil, to the remaining potato water and stir into the flour mixture. So that is what we are going to be doing. What's happening over there?
I wanted my spatula
Oh.
for this
Oh.
so that we mix. Because remember, the cake yeast is wet.
Yeah.
So I guess that's what we are just doing here, basically. So this is our mixture. Going to put it in. And then we are going to do 2 tablespoons of oil.
3 tablespoons of oil in the other 1/3 of. But you have to stir this.
This first.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll use this. Well, it does nothing.
Okay. It just it's crumbling.
Yeah.
Okay. Next.
3 tablespoons of oil.
Yes, and the remainder of the potato water. And that is someone's phone. Okay, that was a wrong number. So now we've mixed the potato water in with the 3 tablespoons of oil and add that in. Mix it. Then we're going to add the 2 eggs and also mix that.
And we are hoping when we add the eggs, this will form into a ball.
Yes.
Okay, so I'll use this to crack the 2 eggs. Sorry. That's our 2 eggs. We add.
There we go. Now we have dough. Now you need to knead it for 5 minutes. Do you have my kneading? My kneading cloth?
No, we just need it in here.
Oh. How does it feel?
It's soft and sticky at the same time.
Do you think we need to add flour for altitude?
Yes, maybe like a 1/4 cup.
Okay, so we should add that now.
Yeah.
What's that? 3 tablespoons, right?
6.
A 1/4 cup.
No, we used 3 cups of flour. For
Yeah.
each cup you add 2.
Okay. So let's do that. It's oily. All right, let's get that situated, then we'll come back to you guys. All right, so we've got 6 tablespoons for the altitude difference. There's our ball of dough, which Helen is going to knead and add in the flour as she needs.
Yeah, so remember we were sifting, so you just sift in little by little, and we are supposed to knead it for 5 minutes.
5 minutes later.
Good.
Sometimes when you are kneading dough that has yeast and it's going to rise, when you knead and it is elastic and non-stick, that's good enough. So our dough, we are going to let it rest in the bowl because it's elastic and non-stick.
Okay, so now you have to allow the dough to rise to double its size. Before you knead again and let it rise again to double its size.
Cool.
Okay.
15 minutes later.
Now 15 minutes later, our dough has risen and this is the first rise. So we are going to take it inside because this is outside, and we are going to knead it again, and then we will let it rise again in the warmth of the nature. So I'm using the cutting board as my kneading tool because I do not have space really in my kitchen. So I'll punch this down, take the dough out, put it on the lightly floured board or counter, whatever you are using. So we are going to knead it again, and we will put it also. Today is a good day in the sun to rise.
How long are you going to knead for this time?
Just this way. You don't need too much kneading.
Okay.
This is good. I'm going to use some oil so that the dough doesn't stick. You can grease your bowl so that the dough doesn't stick, because I've realized that. So you just put small amount of oil, and I'm going to put, and there we go out again. So we put it here on our flour bed for around 15-20 minutes.
Okay, so while the dough was rising, we have been preparing our boiling water. And now we're going to put the other 2 tablespoons of sugar into the boiling water.
Which I'm just using a spoon that we use to eat.
We'll let it come to a full boil, and then we will start on the bagels. So let's see what the dough looks like right now.
Dun, dun, dun.
Okay, and this has been rising for maybe 10 or 15 minutes.
Yeah, second rising.
Second rising. In addition, I have prepared a lightly greased cookie sheet because what we're going to do is portion out our dough. We're going to drop it into the boiling water, and then it's going to be in there for 5 minutes. Then we're going to form, then we're going to take it out, let it sit on the cookie sheet, sprinkle with sesame seeds, and then bake.
So you see, guys, like I said, you just grease the pan and the bowl, sorry. You grease the bowl and it does not stick. So we are going to knead this a little bit, and then we are going to cut into 12 to 15 pieces, portions.
So you like divide in half and divide in half again.
Yeah.
This is our makeshift dough cutter.
It's not working, so we just use a knife.
Okay.
How many are those? 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's good.
There might be one that's too small.
Yeah. It's okay to have a small bagel. So that's our 16. I think we did 16. Yes.
Okay, so start making your bagel. To make the bagel, you're going to make your dough about 6 inches long, about 3/4 of an inch in diameter. So I think that's about 6 inches. Then you're going to bring it together, pinch the ends so it forms a ring. And there is your bagel. It's a bit small, but that's okay. Keep pinching the edges like that. So it won't come apart in the boiling water. So now that's that one. We're on to the next. So here are the bagels. We've just dropped them into the water. They're a little small, but we'll just see. Oh,
It will come.
okay.
There you go.
All right, so we leave them in for about 5 minutes, and then we will take them out with a long-handled fork and leave them to rest on the cookie sheet. Okay, there's our first bagel. Oh, all the bagels are coming out. So this was our very first attempt. They're not like, you know, professional bagels, but anyway. At least most of them stuck together. This one broke apart, but it's still a bagel.
Yes, and we will still eat it.
Yeah.
So now we will use the fork gently to dip them, both sides or one.
Just one, but you flip it so the sesame sides are up
Okay.
on the cookie sheet. Yes. Or we can gently, gently.
Yes, you have to be gently. You can shake, and then if you are brave like me, use your fingers. If you are not brave,
Like me.
it's hot, guys, so watch out. And our oven is hot, so put them in the oven for about
They have to sit for like 5 minutes.
minutes to cool. Then you put them in the oven for, so this is our broken one.
It's still bagel material.
Yes, and we will still eat it.
Okay, so it's gonna sit for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're about to take our second batch out of the oven. We have 2 things that we did a little bit differently. One is that we decided to sprinkle the bagels with sesame seeds instead of dipping them. I think that's a better thing. And we also refrigerated them after we formed the bagels, and before we boiled them, we refrigerated them, and I think they came out better. Just the formation of the bagel. It's crispy. It's soft inside. Can't wait to taste one. Okay, so here's our test bagel. Helen's going to cut it in half.
Yes!
And we're going to see the inside. Okay, they can't see you dancing in glee.
Ooh, it's soft and crispy at the same time.
Yes,
Let me
everything
bring
a
butter.
bagel should be. We
Butter,
we
baby.
don't have cream cheese right at the moment, but we do have real butter. So just butter it nicely, then fold it and cut it in half, and we can each have half.
Yes.
Don't be stingy.
Don't be cheap, baby, on butter.
Correct. Oops.
We love butter, so
Okay, well, I love butter.
I do too.
Okay.
Yeah. When you walk with a thief, you always become a thief.
What are you saying?
I'm saying now I love butter.
Okay, Helen, you're going to give our test taste
Mm.
and tell us what you think.
The best. The potato water does the trick. It's soft and crunchy at the same time. Guys, I want to put this whole thing in my mouth.
Okay, so now it's my turn to try the bagel. It could have cooked a little bit longer, but that's okay. Everybody's oven is different. This American has finally eaten a real bagel in Kenya after 12 years. Here we have our 15 bagels. Challenge completed. Challenge passed. Now to eat.
Yes, and eating not on camera, please.